South Africa, wake up because something is not right inside the union buildings. And today we are tearing the veil off one of the most protected mysteries in our country. A mystery quietly sitting beside the President of the Republic. A mystery that Julius Mima has been shouting about for years, and yet most of the media still treats it like a forbidden topic. Where is Dr. Tshipho Matsip? Why is our First Lady so silent, so invisible, so shielded from South Africans? And what exactly is the Ramaphosa family hiding? This is not a gossip segment. This is a political investigation into power, wealth, influence, and silence that is louder than the truth. Because if you think this is just about a wife who prefers a private life, you're not paying attention. Let's begin with the core red flag. In South Africa, the role of First Lady has never been invisible. Never. We know Zinel Beki active in women's development. We know Tabika Medeva Zuma present at events leading campaigns. Even Sizikal Zuma traditional quiet but they're visible doing work. So why is Dr. Tshipho Matsi the complete opposite? A ghost in the presidential palace. A public health expert who barely engages in public health. A First Lady who never speaks. A leader's partner who is never seen leading. Julius Malema noticed it early. He questioned it publicly. He demanded accountability. And what response did we get from Cyril Ramaphosa? A medical excuse. A knee operation. Crutches. Limited movement. Fine, fair. People get surgeries, people recover. But South Africans, even before that knee story, where was she? And after recovery, where is she now? No government, no presidency, hides something this aggressively unless there is a reason. Let's follow the money. Dr. Tshipho Matsip is not an ordinary private citizen. She comes from one of the wealthiest and most politically yoked families in this country. Her brother Patrice Matsip, billionaire, mining magnate. Her sister Bridget Rattab, businesswoman, married into top political power. Her husband, President Cyril Ramaphosa, multimillionaire leader of the nation. This is not just a family. This is an empire built on wealth and power that flows straight into the heart of government decisions. The First Lady is not just a spouse. She is part of a dynasty. So here's the real question. Why hide a dynasty? Why keep the public at a distance from the most influential woman living inside the presidency? Is the silence protecting her? Or is the silence protecting him? Let's look deeper. In 2018, Mima stood up in Parliament and fired a political missile. Why is the First Lady not visible? Why is she not contributing to the nation the way First Lady should? That question shook the presidency because it exposed a pressure point, something sensitive, something the Ramaphosa administration didn't want aired publicly. Instead of a straightforward answer, we got distraction, deflection, emotional storytelling, health excuses, personal sympathy, please. The presidency was nervous, visibly nervous. And that's when the alarm bells started ringing, because when a leader fears a question, the question is usually hitting the truth. Let's move on to visibility and influence consistently. Everything involving Dr. Matsip is staged, controlled, restricted, smiling at a children's book launch, appearing at a curated medical event, reading speeches written by someone else. Those are not leadership roles. Those are public relations placeholders. Where are the policy drives? Where are the national campaigns for women's health? Where is the advocacy for gender violence? Where is the empowerment of rural women? Where is the platform that every other First Lady has taken? Silence. What does silence protect? We must analyze the politics. Ramaphosa's presidency is built on the narrative of clean governance, Mr. Anti-Corruption. Yet surrounding him is a network of business interests tied directly to government contracts. Matsip businesses linked to major national industries. Billions passing through mines, energy, infrastructure, finance. If Dr. Matsip was active and public, scrutiny would follow. Journalists would dig. Questions would multiply. Is state influence benefiting her family network? Who profits from decisions made in cabinet meetings behind closed doors? Why do mining and energy contracts always circle back to familiar names? Maybe silence isn't weakness. Maybe silence is protection from exposure. Let's go to political messaging. Cyril Ramaphosa built his image on family values, smiling, safe, respectable, the opposite of the chaos before him. But when your first lady is missing from national life, the illusion cracks. The image collapses. A leader who claims unity cannot hide his partner from the nation. Mal Lima knows this, and he uses it like a weapon because every time he raises Chipo Matsip's name, Cyril panics. The facade slips. The presidency becomes vulnerable. That means one thing: the truth lies behind the silence. Let's go to public duty versus private privilege. South Africa is drowning. Poverty at record levels. Unemployment destroying a generation. Women facing violence daily, children suffering without health care. We have a first lady with top expertise in public health, and she's not allowed to lead. Not because she can't, but because leadership makes her visible, and visibility exposes the empire. We have a billionaire family with unimaginable privilege. Yet, they can't show their faces when the country suffers. Why? Because it would reveal the gulf between them and us. Because it would expose the lie that Cyril Ramaphosa understands the ordinary citizen. Now let's go even deeper. Could Dr. Matsip's absence be a political chess move? When the president is drowning in scandals, polar ANC infighting, corruption allegations, the less the first lady appears, the less she can be tied to the fallout. If Cyril falls, she walks away untouched, protected, preserved, ready for the next chapter of the dynasty. Because, make no mistake, this is not the story of a shy medical doctor. This is a protected figure inside a high-stakes power struggle. A calculated silence. A silence that shields money. A silence that shields influence. A silence that shields secrets. South Africans, the presidency is not a private estate. It is a public institution, and anyone inside it, whether elected or married in, owes the nation transparency. So where does this leave us? We must demand answers. What is the real reason the First Lady is hidden? Why isn't a brilliant public health expert allowed to lead? Why do we only see her in scripted appearances? Why did Julius Malema's question terrify the president? Why does the wealth surrounding the family never face scrutiny? And the biggest question of all, is Dr. Chipo Matsip's silence her choice? Or is her silence a strategy of control? Because history teaches us one thing: when the public is not allowed to know the truth, it is because the truth is dangerous to power. So South Africa, I ask you, are we witnessing a private woman living her life? Or are we witnessing the strategic disappearance of the most politically connected woman in the country? Which one threatens the presidency more? Which one threatens the truth more? Which one threatens the network of power more? You decide. Let the nation talk. Let the truth rise. And let the silence end. For in politics, silence is never innocent. Leave your thoughts below and don't hold back.